Hey everybody, welcome to the next commentary. It's kind of like a commentary. It's going to be a VOD review over the last game that I played of the season. If you guys didn't know or aren't aware, you're just a casual player or you just don't even care about ranked, Season 13 is officially over and I managed to reach Challenger. Barely. Challenger, reaching Challenger, and finishing the whole entire season Challenger has been something that I've done uh since season 5. That was the first time that I ever reached Challenger, and I've reached it and ended it season 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way up to 13. So I've literally ended for 9 years. This will be the ninth year of ending Challenger, and I just think it's such a special thing for me, and I'm glad that I was able to do it. There was multiple times this year where I honestly didn't really know if I could do it because my LP gains, the LP gains at the end of the season have never been this bad for me, and maybe it's because I'm playing on an account that has never been Challenger before, because I have other accounts that I play on, but I was getting minus 27. I'll show you guys. So what happened is there's a threshold of like LP, and I was actually not going to finish Challenger like 4 hours before the season ended. I had 4 hours to play. I played one game, and I clearly underperformed, and it was clearly my fault. And I got minus 27. Minus 27 is awful because I get like plus 21. So if I just lose 2 games in a row, it's basically already over because I'm going to have to win 3 games to almost just get back my 2 wins. And then I have to win after that. And that's like 5 games total. And I only have 4 hours. And a lot of people at the time are, they queue up and decline over and over again to stall people because people like trolling, or they're doing it on purpose as a strategy to keep their own spots and stuff because, Challenger is only 300 spots, so the LP goes up every single day significantly. I thought I was safe. I wasn't. I was at 960, and the LP of rank 300 is 962. So I did have to play, and I did. And then I won 2 games in a row, and both of them were comebacks, but we're only going to be looking at the second game. But this is the first one that I played where it was a pretty challenging game. Came back. It was versus Illusion that went 0-8, but don't be, it looks like it should have been easy, but it wasn't. That game was super difficult. And then we're going to be looking at this one, which also was us losing. So I barely managed to scrape by and reach Challenger again. And maybe this will be my final year of Challenger. So we're just going to be going over the video, and hopefully it's something that you guys will enjoy watching alongside me, even though it's just a replay. I didn't record it because, I'm focused in the game. I don't even think that it's a special game from me. I don't necessarily do like a huge pop off, but I tried really hard, and it is the final game that I did of the season. You can see Seraphine and Belveth, the damage wasn't very high on those characters. I did decent amounts. This Camille did a lot. She was 0-4 at one point and then popped off. So we had these win cons that we played towards. So yeah, let's get into the game. All right, so now that we're inside a game, we are playing Zoe versus a Yone matchup. Once again, this game is not like a super special game. I'm going to show off like crazy stuff, but this game was super just me try-harding somewhat. I missed a lot of stuff, but I played the map into my champions well enough that I feel like I influenced the game in a significant manner that allowed us to win, definitely. We all had to play as a team pretty well. They had a annoying team comp. I personally, inside of High Elo, I know, I play Zoe all the time. I do enjoy playing Zoe. She's fun. I like the style of poke and stuff, but my god, whenever I even get fed, it feels so difficult to beat other champions sometimes, depending on what they are. In this case, Yone is good because his snapback allows him to remove my sleep. But we're not really going to be killing him in the laning phase because Zoe, even when you're able to look for these auto attacks, like I'm using my passive procs, hitting the wave, and we're hitting the wave on purpose, by the way. Getting first push is extremely valuable on every champion. We're trying to make it so it pushes in, and we're able to get vision control of Raptors. It's a super nice thing to have. So we can see where the enemy jungler is, because that helps out my whole entire team. Not to mention, I know that Belveth, and this is like going into the knowledge of like knowing what your teammates' functionality is. I know that, like, for instance, bot lane is the Blitzcrank lane. If they get pulled, they lose. That's just how it works. And they are poke lane. They poke, and that's how they win. Bel'Veth is a champion that invades a lot if they know what they're doing. And I'm going to assume she knows what she's doing because we're playing inside of, you know, Challenge or Elo. My bot lane gets a kill and stuff. That's pretty nice for the early game. Difficult game early, or I mean, difficult game overall though, because you guys are going to see, like, we had like a 5k deficit at one point before we started coming back. But yeah, because I put down that ward, that showed Echo's pathing and enabled Bel'Veth to almost kill this guy. He lived with like 1 HP. I'm not going to show his HP or go back, but she did invade, and she probably did invade because of my ward. I'm trying to set up my team for potential success with their own champions just by pushing early on. And then we're just going to go back to farming versus this guy. We're probably never going to kill him. If anything, I'm just happy that I have like the smallest CS lead ever. I put the bubble down because I know he's going to snap back into it, but as you can see, he can stay inside of that forever. We get like decent damage off. Poke him. The Yone messaged me after the game because he actually struggles against Zoe, and I told him some tricks because he didn't even know that you can like walk over the Zoe bubble and then snap back to remove that interaction. Because if you want to beat a Yone as Zoe, the only really way that you can do it is getting a very lucky W. Like, get one of those balloons that have like a Proto Belt or an Everfrost inside of it, something super powerful. Even Stride Breaker is pretty good early on. And then also, when they come onto you with Yone E, where he leaves behind his spirit thingy, if you can bubble between it, so when he snaps back, he walks over it, he'll fall asleep. That's like one of the only Zoe tricks that I know that you can make it so you can beat this matchup. In most cases, I think that this matchup is absolutely terrible. My top lane died. I went back, bought boots and a Dark Seal. Pretty generic purchase overall. And honestly, I'm not really going to do anything unless I get jungle ganks, and it's not going to really happen. So the only thing that I think I do is that if somebody's not going to be pressuring me, and also I don't think that I can necessarily win lane, because if I play aggressive, it's pretty bad. I'm like fishing for Qs and stuff. They're not really going very well. Because he's not touching the wave and he's playing passive, I don't think he needs to be playing passive, but because he is, I will eventually just leave to roam bot side, and I probably am going to try fixing the wave first, unless like a fight breaks out, and maybe I just do it immediately. I know that I'm pretty scared, but normally I always shove before it. So I'll probably do it right here. I'll miss some of the minions. I'm scared of him. He uses his snap to remove my sleep, so it doesn't even work. And then we immediately roam because there's no way we can harass this guy under tower. And the reason for going bot side was I'm pretty sure I was looking at their HP, and I was like, oh, okay. I mean, that's probably more gankable than top lane who's full HP. So I come down. Seraphine comes down as well because she just recently died. I missed my bubble, but it's okay. We make up for it. I just flash on the MF, burn all of my abilities. She flashed forward to try to kill this guy, so I pick up her flash, and then I flash on this Blitzcrank to try to kill this guy. And this is where I'll actually slow it down to showcase a pretty nice bubble that I got on this guy. A lot of people, when they see minions, think that they're safe, but you can sometimes weave it like past it because minion aggro is kind of strange. So I got off a crazy bubble here, and that enabled us to get another kill. And I think that was absolutely humongous because they have such a good team comp against Zoe. I hate facing Nocturne, Echo, Blitzcrank. I mean, that just depends on how good he is, and Yone, of course. So I know that when we go into side lane positions, it's not going to be very good for us. We're winning right now by like 900 gold. It's going pretty well. I'll speed it up a little bit, of course, because it's just walking back to lane. We're trying to mainly focus on me. At this point, I probably just am going to be going for hard shoves over and over again. I actually don't remember what the next play is. I land bubble, boom, snaps away. Okay, my bubble is completely useless. Very fun, right? Super interactive matchup. I don't really get to do that much. I go put down some vision. I was checking for a pink ward, so that's why I went into that brush there, just to check it. I looked for a bubble, didn't work out. And because I missed it, I'm not going to step up because I know that if I step up too aggressively, he might jump on me with his E and ult. So that's why I'm playing very cautiously here. Right here, Nocturne ulti top, it's completely dark for me. I have no idea where anybody is, but I'm going up here to try to help out with my top laner dying. I land a pretty nice bubble through the wall. If you don't know the bubble interaction with Echo, when you ultimate, it's not like Yone, where it undrowsies him. I'll even show this again. But this whole entire decision making is because Echo went top. I'm in a bad spot mid. And my playstyle is like, I will sacrifice my lane if I think that I can't fight this guy. I just use my only ability to self-peel myself, and he has everything up. I'll just leave. I see that my top lane's getting dove. Once again, the Nocturne ultimate, my screen is completely black. I can't see anything. Because we're watching the replay, I can see stuff. Bubble. Echo stays asleep because that's the interaction and doesn't remove it. We get a kill on that guy, or rather my teammate does. And it was not that bad. Plus, I'm not missing like too much of minions. I think I missed like probably like 4 or something. So we got an Echo kill for our teammate. I think overall it was worth it. And I think that if somebody's going to be playing like this, where they feel... I feel like Yone's playing very passive. And that makes it honestly better for me because I don't like playing versus Yone's that are aggressive. But also... it does make it difficult to kill him because he is playing passive. So how can I even benefit my team? I sleep him, he snaps, boom. Okay, I can't sleep him. The only thing that I can do to benefit my team is roaming after I shove out waves. So that's all I'm really doing. Right? Whenever I can. I was checking for pink wards and seeing if he was maybe running back through there. We'll just go back to shoving out. I probably have like a decent amount of money at this point, so I probably want to base. We sleep him. He snaps. You know? Okay, cool. 0 interaction in this matchup. If Yone presses his E key, he always gets rid of every single possible bubble I can ever land. But I'm trying to still walk around my Bel'Veth, see what I can do. I'm afraid of this brush, so I'm like hesitating a little bit because I can get jumped on here by Echo. I didn't know where he was at the time. Echo shows up bot. Immediately I go bot. Once again, all I care about is trying to help out my team. I throw out a bubble. My bubbles this game, not really the best, right? I unfortunately miss it. I think this whole entire thing ends up really bad because now Yone's going to jump on her. She dies. The game's in a pretty bad state now. Our whole entire lead is gone. I think I land a bubble onto Echo here, but no, I did land my Q as well. But nothing happens because Bel'Veth and me can't walk into 3 of them. 4 of them, actually, because this guy was also probably rotating, so... we just go back mid to farm out. I wish that it was something I could do something versus this guy, right, when he eased forward like that, but I don't even have that much mana right now, and I don't have Lost Chapter. Oh, no, I did. Okay, well, I didn't have enough mana, and I wasn't close leveling up, so... I don't think that I could have R'd past him to try to land a bubble on the other side. I think R plus E, I wouldn't have enough mana for Q. So, teammates are doing Dragon really good. Getting objectives is one of the ways to win. If it's a very even game, that's the only advantages that are really going to mean a lot. I'm trying to base because I have money. Unfortunately, this guy is stopping me. I decided to stay, and the reason for staying here is because I know that he wants to go for this plate, and I'll miss these minions because he's shoving so fast. So if you're ever in this scenario, it's better to stay for 1 wave and now base, because I'm basing on a wave that isn't completely crashed, so I'm going to miss less minions. I made the decision of like, you know what, I'm going to miss too much. I should stay for this wave. We'll just do the next one. The unfortunate part is it allowed him to roam. And he went bot side. I don't even know if he got an assist on the kill, but that's what he did. So we'll just speed it up a little bit. Have him come back mid. He goes for the plate. I try to throw out a bubble that was between him and the clone. Or not clone, but his previous body. I couldn't land it though, so nothing really I could do. I'm probably looking bot here. This is a very strange position to be in because I feel like I can't do anything without people being mid. And also, Xerath is not really a traditional support. I threw out Bubble here to try to pick this guy. This guy should have picked up the bubble and snapped back to defend himself. The only reason why this happens, where he had to use his ultimate out, is because this is a bad play. I barely miss Bubble on this guy. He's super skinny Nocturne, right? And then I don't think Bel'Veth is going to kill him. So it looks like I'm inting, and I flash forward and kill myself, and it's super bad, and I ping myself because I'm upset. So I made a mistake. Did they even kill this guy? They don't, right? But I think Bel'Veth lives, but Seraphine dies. The game is not looking very good. Anyways, the Yone could have just picked up my bubble from the beginning, and he could have just never used his ultimate, and none of this play could have ended up almost in our favor. It never did, though. It all ended up pretty bad, so... Yeah, the game is not looking very hot. So our top lane is doing good, super good CS-wise, and also I feel like Camille just outscales. So automatically, the things that I knew, especially loading into the game and seeing how she is performing versus Nocturne, I know Camille scaling is ridiculous. She died again. If she's 0-3 now, it doesn't matter. Camille, Fiora, Jax are literal gods when you reach like 3 items. It doesn't matter how far behind you are. All that matters is reaching that point. So that's kind of what I'm banking on right now, because I'm not feeling very confident. I don't like our team comp. Echo's strong. Echo has Merc Treads. Merc Treads is amazing versus so many of us. MF is building a Null Magic Mantle. I'm hating life, right? I am absolutely despising this game. Playing triple AP, and I'm not even that strong, is not feeling good. Like, I don't even have my Mythic finished yet. He has his Kraken Slayer already because I think he maybe secured a shutdown and some of the plates. Maybe enabled that. Well, I didn't really get any plates. I sacrificed a lot to try to help out other plays across the map. Did it really work out? Not really. Maybe not. So I'm just going to farm versus this guy. And then we're probably going to be playing for whatever objective is next. This guy gets caught out. I think I landed a Q somewhere there. But... No, I don't land bubble, but that's okay. If we did land bubble, it would have not really done anything inside the first place. I could tell that all I had to do was stall for my Camille as soon as I noticed that when Nocturne used ultimate top with the Echo, I remember my screen turning dark and I looked top and I was like, she's full HP. That probably means that, you know, the Nocturne is losing really hard. He's not using it offensively. I thought she was dying to Echo, but it turns out they're just struggling. So... the longer the game goes, the better for me. Of course, Yone could probably maybe manage the Camille, though, so... Did this guy die here? Oh yeah, I remember watching this. He doesn't die. So Dragon's coming up. We're focused on objectives. That's where we, as a team, can function pretty well. I think I look for bubble on this guy. I land a big Q. That was a really long-range Q, and even with no magic resist, it does, like, no damage, sadly. Bel'Veth got hit over the wall by Blitzcrank Hook, so we just lose this fight automatically. I look for poke on this guy, but that's all I can do. Right. So we lose the dragon because Bel'Veth got caught. Not looking good. Not to mention, like, a long-range Zoe Q onto this Yone with Ludens does... like 350 damage. Like, we saw the Q. It does like nothing. So I'm feeling pretty bad right now. I land bubble. He snaps back and forward, so my bubble is meaningless again. Echo overextends and influences the game in a massive way because he allows me to actually get this kill. And he was worth a shutdown, and so is Yone, as you can see. He's worth 300 gold. I'm not worth the shutdown. So he is worth a lot. We're always aware of, like, looking at the map as well. Like, right here, I noticed that my bot side was roaming mid, So I buffered my bubble while I got ultied, because you can actually do that. I'm gonna like slow this down a little bit. I feel like it's easier done than even said, because I feel like, okay, so like when he presses R, yeah, I bubbled while he was like mid-cast. So then when he finishes his cast, when he double taps, E is too slow, and then he dies because my teammates came mid, which I was aware of, and we get a kill from that. That being said, the enemy team was also missing at the same time, so I might have almost tunnel vision there, so maybe that could have ended up pretty bad for us. Maybe. We're grouping with the team. Zoe is not a split push side laner. I find that the best things that I can do is always be around my team. I will need to go side lane because it's better for Seraphine to be mid, but all I'm going to be doing is trying to farm and survive, and then just wait for my teammates to arrive. I think I just look for like long range bubbles here. I do know that Nocturne walks towards this brush, and I was aware of it, and I was looking for a pick, but it just didn't work out because I wanted to try to get the cannon. I don't want to lose it. But I know bubble over this wall. I was looking for it, but I was like, there's no way it reaches. We did land it. And landing the bubble was good because we caused Nocturne to use Spell Shield, and then Bel'Veth landed her W, but it still wasn't enough because Nocturne can use his Q to move really fast. So he just left. Then we just base because the wave is doing whatever. There's no objectives on the map. We don't really have anything to do. So we're just going to go by because there's nothing else to do. And we're just going for Horizon Focus build. I like Horizon Focus second. Of course, with the new items, honestly, this doesn't even matter, which is coming out very soon. I just wanted to get... The new season is literally, like, super fast. Oh, dang, I really... Now I'm missing this, and this was, like, an important thing that was kind of cool that I did. We'll go back for it. Because the new season's coming out, this replay is gonna not work anymore, so I have to do this, like, late at night. Like, it's super late right now. I'm tired, too. So, hopefully it's, like, somewhat entertaining to watch. I'm gonna go back a little bit because, there's something that happens here. I'm gonna pause. I'm not trying to pause. I don't like pausing, but, we had no idea where Echo was, except for that he hit the cone here. So this scrying orb told us, as you can see it on the map, we see it as well. And there's also like a visual. He's somewhere topside. And also how Echo functions is that he looks for dives after they shove in waves, especially on champions like this. So I just assumed that he was near this area looking for a pick. So I blind bubble and he was in there and we burned his ultimate because of it. And look at where his W was. He was looking for a pick with his teammates. So just being aware of like, oh, plant is being used and we know that this champion can do this type of diving material allows me to know where he is a little bit. You know, it was a chance. It was just a high chance that he's in there. And that was gigantic, you know? Who knows what could have happened if I never caught him? Maybe he would have landed stun on my Xerath and not killed him, but maybe burned my Xerath exhaust. And then maybe next team fight that happens, Xerath doesn't have exhaust, and then because Xerath doesn't have exhaust, then Nocturne kills somebody that he shouldn't be killing, right? So these like super tiny things are, you know, super important. My team's fighting mid, so I literally left the top wave because I don't want to be split pushing, I just want to be helping. I threw a bubble through the wall that would have hit Blitzcrank, but he flashed it, but we burned Blitzcrank Flash, right? These tiny things matter. We burned Blitzcrank Flash. We're losing the game gold-wise. I don't like the game state. Also, I didn't like that Camille never matched this guy. We're gonna ignore this bubble that's coming up because I clearly landed, but Riot is not letting me land that. I played it perfectly. So I need to go back top, right? He's taking the tower, but I rotated mid because I felt like it would be more useful. Okay, get ready for the crazy play. Nocturne ultimate, by the way, I'm completely blinded. I cannot see anything. So when I portaled forward, I was just trying to see if Bel'Veth needed help. He kills Bel'Veth in front of me, and you might wonder why I'm not chasing, and I'm going to go quickly over this. I'm not very confident going against Yone's, but also I don't think I would have beaten him here because bubble goes off here. He snaps back, which causes the bubble to not work. He's now dead. My next Q is 2 seconds. And his Q, her W is 1, and it shields. And his Q is up and everything. I feel like he can outplay me. I swear he could. So I didn't chase. Because I felt with Flash, with his abilities being on a lower CD, because I know that my CDs are much longer than his, I can't win. Was there a chance that I maybe could? Yeah. Also, I'm worth a shutdown, and I didn't want to give that up. So I die here and give up the shutdown. Although, I didn't know that Echo was rotating at this point. This is another tiny thing. This bubble was super tragic. Echo teleports, and I was trying to time it perfectly because I was also trying to get out of this, or like at least buffer. So when I get stunned and he hits me, when he snaps on top of me, I was hoping it would, you know, hit him. But it got the cannon instead, which is funny that I can secure cannons with random bubbles where I'm trying to hit a champion, but I can't secure it when I'm actually trying. So yeah, I die. He just dives me. He dies though. But as you can see, the gold lead is now, we are 2,000 behind. It's not looking very good. Camille though is abusing their bot side. Their bot side is losing. Of course, our bot side is honestly super close KDA wise. Like Blitzcrank is the same KDA as Xerath almost. Seraphine 1-4. This guy's 2-5. Like they're very evenly matched, I would say. So not the craziest reason why we're barely winning this game. Seraphine scales pretty well, so that's also why I'm trying to stall the game with whatever picks I can possibly find. So I'm just chilling topside. I know that Yone's coming. I think I looked for a bubble or something. We're gonna have a Yone moment coming up. I use bubble on the wave. I shouldn't do that. That's my mistake. So he just kills me underneath tower and doesn't die. And all I can say is that he outplayed me there. I was so sad at this moment. I was like, God, dude, I'm actually this 8 years of reaching Challenger, and I guess the 9th year just wasn't it? I'm washed up, right? And that's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm feeling right now. I think that they're on Baron too, and I'm honestly a little bit surprised that they didn't do it. Honestly, I don't know what the hell they did. I don't know why they didn't do it. Very strange. This guy dies. Looking at the wrong side. So he dies, although Nocturne got pretty chunked, and also we do have our Camille who has started grouping finally, and I think that, when I say finally, I think that it was fine that she didn't group for such a long time. But because she's so strong, she creates so much pressure. I almost killed Yone here, by the way. I was, once again, during this team fight, blinded from Nocturne, because Nocturne pressed R and I can't see anything. I threw a super long-range Q and almost killed him. I threw Bubble here because Blitzcrank was waiting around this corner, and if I had landed that, I could have killed him, but he Hex Flash at the same moment. So I, unfortunately don't land it, and now we're even further behind. I keep throwing Bubbles here because I'm looking for Blitzcrank. So I'm kind of lost at what to do besides hopefully look for picks, because I feel like that's the only thing that my champion can do. That's how I've always played Zoe. Going side lane versus Yone is a death wish. I will need to collect a wave eventually, so I will do that. But I think that pretty soon I don't... what do I do first? I group and look for a pick? Right here, I knew Camille was going to go match the Yone, because I don't want to do it. And I do want to be around Baron as well. You see where Yone is, I land bubble, snap, snap. My bubble is completely worthless. I can't even poke this guy. I look for a little bit of poke damage, doesn't do anything. Nocturne's ulting, Camille's going in. I use the blast cone to try to get further towards this because I knew Nocturne was somewhere in this area, but nothing really. I try to help out with the Yone as well. Seraphine thankfully doesn't die. Baron is up. What the Nocturne's trying to do is just create pressure because they want to do the Baron, but I think that... Yeah, I land a decent bubble to at least poke. Once again, land on the Yone, which is useless. I pick up a flash that was on the ground. That was very close to landing on that guy. And I'm like, well... I see an MF mid, and I'm like, I'm gonna go in. Like, because, I mean, she was caught for a moment. We got her flash. I tried to go even deeper, trying to kill her with the Ignite, but she healed herself. That's why she lives here. She healed through with that. Echo goes super far forward, but I land bubble. And Xerath secures the MF kill. And they get the Echo kill. These are huge kills, by the way. Also, my bubble here was really good because I knew that the Echo was going to commit every resource to kill me. So right here, see how I like predicted that he would do it and then flashed and died. You can flash Echo E sometimes if you do it fast enough. I just didn't do it fast enough because I'm an old man now. I can't keep up with Zoomers anymore on League. So yeah, we are losing by 4,000. It's good that we got those 2 kills, though. It was a 2 for 1. And also, the MF was worth a tiny shutdown. You can see that the Yone is still worth a huge amount. Nocturne's worth a pretty big amount, even though he's behind Camille. Yone's shoving bot lane, and I think I remember this moment where I was like, I feel like they might just die. I don't even know if they can win this. What happens here? Yeah, they just run. Like, they can't even face Yone 2v1. Doesn't even work. I ignore bot because, once again... Okay, I'll, like, maybe get the cannon or something. Right? So, I'm pushing out, but then I'm gonna group. And I think it's around Dragon? It's either Dragon or Baron. I look for these brushes because I don't know if the enemy team is camping them. Our Bel'Veth gets caught. Seraphine lands a crazy combo. I landed a really long-range Q that unfortunately wasn't really shown there, but I landed 1 onto 2 of them, which almost killed them. I tried to look for that Q on Echo. That was really close, but he eat over the wall. Once again, just fishing for anything onto Echo, because if I do land it on him, a lot of assassins sit inside these pockets, so I'm throwing it into it because they wait. I'm also trying to deny them from walking in right now, so that's why I'm over here. We're doing the Dragon. We don't have a jungler, so they could steal it, and getting Soul is an objective that allows you to win games, even if you're losing it. Soul is worth a lot. So that's why I was over there looking. And then once we saw them walk away, we have this vision here, so we're okay. That fight, by the way, I think generated Seraphine. She got both of the shutdowns, a huge amount of gold. Yeah, she did. And I say, like, yo, take blue. I say, I'm just a bubble bot. Can you please take blue? Although my damage dealt this game was surprisingly not as bad as I expected it to be. I mean, Seraphine is landing some crazy combos, and her damage dealt was super small for how impactful it felt like she was. So Echo's going top. I land bubble on him. He was just kind of walking in. It was kind of strange that he was walking in because I even scrying orbed him and saw him, so it was very weird. Echo does eventually tilt this game pretty hard. So here's Yone. I miss my bubble, so I get myself killed. And it's honestly my mistake. But the good news is that he dies, and I think that my life isn't worth as much as Yone's at this point, and also Nocturne went in randomly when he shouldn't have, and this enabled a huge team fight where everybody performed very well at just kiting. So, like, Echo tries to go for Seraphine. She Zhonya's the passive proc rather than Zhonya's when she's low, so he doesn't get any movement speed, which is super nice to make it so he has, like, no escape potential. When he jumps over walls, Bel'Veth can just follow, and now we get Baron. And now the game is going to flip on its head, kind of. I think we're still even losing in gold even after we get the Baron. I'm going to speed it up because everybody's dead. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, we're still losing in gold, which is a little bit surprising. So after this point, I might just skip forward a bunch. This is when I was like, yo, Seraphine, take the blue buff because I'm useless. I don't really care. I push out bot side and then immediately group. And I do land some like decent bubbles on these guys, like here, to help out the shoving. I don't know if Echo was griefing or if he said to give up mid and to just take top because we can't defend. But because I landed some bubbles, Zoe and Seraphine and Xerath, when you do get an advantage, which we didn't have for most of the game, is huge. Because you can work together to make it so when you land one bubble, everybody dies. So finally my champion is pretty damn useful because landing one bubble just influences the game in a massive way. So yeah, Echo stayed top, we got some picks, and then we eventually got to win the game. So that was my final game of Season 13 that allowed me to secure Challenger, despite being pretty far behind. I feel like there was one fight that we probably should have looked at a little bit more. This fight, I'm sorry if I skipped this fight a little bit too early, but... Oh, the sound effects are all screwed up too. But this was a crazy Seraphine ultimate. And then after Seraphine ultied, she double E'd, which caused Nocturne to get rooted and then stunned. And then I think Xerath stuns, so Nocturne gets stunned again. Nocturne sits here for like a solid like 6 seconds. It's really funny. Also, that was really well played by Yone, not stepping on that bubble. That was insane. I probably would have stepped on that. I'm going to look at that one more time. Sorry. I just want to look at Nocturne when he gets stunned. Charmed, rooted, stunned, stunned, and then dies. God, poor guy. Literally got stunned, locked so hard there. So yeah, hopefully guys enjoyed the game that brought me to Challenger this season. Once again, this is what the game was. That's the enemy team. This is us. We were losing a lot. And this is the damage chart once again. Yep. I am shocked that Seraphine damage is this low because she had some really good plays. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys next season. Farewell. Bye.